Good morning. My name is Sam. I am an alcoholic and I'm also a son of recovery. Let's start out with the Serenity Prayer. Good and gracious God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. I'm reading through Recovery Dharma, How to Use Buddhist Practices and Principles to Heal the Suffering of Addiction. I'm on the last of the Eightfold Path, which is kind of similar to the 12 steps, but the last piece is wise concentration. The final aspect of the Eightfold Path is wise concentration. Meditation practice begins with concentrating on the breath, the body, the emotional tone of the moment, and the process of the mind itself, because these things exist in the present. If we focus on breath, for example, we're paying attention to the present moment because our breathing is immediate. It's happening right now. Breathing is a natural process that doesn't require judgment or interpretation. And so it eases the mind from the need to react. The purpose of concentration is to train the mind to be focused and undistracted. This circles back to the wisdom section, where we try to be focused on wise understanding and wise thought without being distracted by habitual perceptions and reactivity. Most of us, early in meditation practice, are distracted by things around us. Our concentration is interrupted by a noise outside the room, a pain or discomfort in our bodies, our own worries or judgments of the experience, boredom or weariness, or thoughts and plans. These distractions can lead to a feeling of unease and restlessness. This is perfectly normal. In our addictions, we nurture the habit of distracting ourselves. For many of us, it has become a survival technique. Concentration meditation gives us the opportunity to meet this habit with kindness and patience rather than resistance. Concentration, like the rest of the factors of the Eightfold Path, is a practice. As with any practice, it takes time and effort to learn a new way to focus attention. In meditation, simply noting the distraction, accepting that it exists, and then refocusing is the practice. If we become consumed with discomfort, thoughts, or distraction, we need to first recognize that it's happening and then become curious about it. Then we can make the choice to refocus, to concentrate on the object of the meditation. Our habitual patterns can seduce us into thinking we're doing it wrong, into judging our practice, or into giving up. Don't let it. When we observe what the mind is telling us and react with compassion, knowing we have the power to recognize it and refocus it, we strengthen our ability to concentrate. Concentration can be especially helpful in times of craving. Instead of getting lost in the delusion that we must have what we're craving, we can trust that the craving is only temporary and refocus our attention on our intention to act wisely. This may simply be the 3-breath pause mentioned earlier, or a more formal sitting meditation concentrating on the breath. We can use concentration meditation to train our minds to focus on a wholesome thought in the midst of temporary discomfort and the yearning for a quick fix. This may take the form of repeated phrases to focus and clear the mind, such as metta, compassion, or equanimity meditations. For some of us, this may take the form of prayer, a self-affirmation, a mantra, or another form of focused attention. Concentration practices can often bring a sense of well-being and peace in a time of turmoil. They're a healthy way to return to a balanced, resilient state when we're stressed or agitated. Sometimes, when cravings or unpleasant emotions are particularly strong, moving the body can be the best way to help refocus our energy and find relief. Concentration at those times may mean being focused and mindful about each movement we are making. This is my foot taking a step. This is my hand reaching for the cup. After a few moments of concentration practice, of not giving energy to our craving or obsession, we may find the intensity of the feeling has passed. The more we do this, the more we gain confidence that we have the power to relieve the suffering of our addiction through following this path and committing to this practice. For trauma survivors, the breath, the heart, the mind can be potentially overwhelming places to place the attention. So, if traditional anchors like breath and body are challenging, ask yourself, what helps you stay present? What helps to calm your nervous system? It might be the floor in front of you, or a statue, or a piece of art on the wall. It might even be just a blank wall. All that you need to be all that you need to be present is to pay attention to something happening right now. If you do feel powerful emotions begin to arise during meditation, there are some simple things you can do to remain present. For example, you can open your eyes rather than keeping them closed, or give yourself permission to back off from the practice you are working on. Do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself should such a state arise, whether that is taking some deep breaths, putting a name on your experience such as flashback, or silently repeating some compassionate phrases to yourself. Learning to turn our attention back and forth between challenging sensations and our own supportive resources is a valuable skill that professionals call titration. You can be gentle with your practice as you are working to develop this skill. Ooh, meditation. That's a good one because it's hard. It is really hard. But it can also be very fun, especially as you practice it. It can be really healing the more you practice meditation. And having a mantra or a self-affirmation or a prayer that you say can be very helpful. I often would say to myself, Christ within me, Christ before me, or there's another one. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what one of my mantra was. But anyways, but it really does, and I have heard a lot about breathing and breath from lots of different doctors and mentors and friends about the importance of breathing and how, in moments when we are craving or really distracted, our breath gets really shallow, and especially when we're nervous or scared or anxious or anything, and remembering to breathe really deeply helps to get oxygen to the brain and get it going and get us focused. So it's really important to remember that, and I try to remember it all the time, and I fail, but so that's what I got from this, and love this. Next, we are going to go on to community or Sangha. So that is the third of the three jewels, they call it, so of Buddha and Dharma. So in community, we're going to be talking about isolation and connection. We're going to talk about working with others, wise friends and mentors, service and generosity. Those all sound like really good things to me, and very similar to the 12 steps. So we'll be going on to that. This morning, my work life. Today, I pay attention to whatever recovery behaviors I could practice that would improve my work life. I will take care of myself on the job. God, help me let go of my need to be victimized by work. Help me be open to all the good stuff that is available to me through work. So with that, please leave any comments, questions, or thoughts, and as always, I hope you have a blessed day.